What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode 40 of the viewer comment series. The series where, of course, you guys, the viewers, send in your comments and questions, and they do get answered live on the show. If you would like to be featured, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and look out for my call for questions post that's going to go out usually every single Tuesday. But because of signing day this week, we are doing it a day early, so the post went out yesterday. And we got a ton of submissions. So don't want to waste any more time. If you guys are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate you guys being here. Now let's get into the video. All right, so first up from Goofy Goober here. He says, do you think we will face a top 25 opponent in a bowl game? So essentially what's going to happen, we're almost a lock for the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio, Texas. So if BYU beats Texas Tech in the Big 12 title game, we're going to be playing against Houston. If Texas Tech beats BYU, then we're going to be playing against BYU. So we're playing the Cougars either way. Red or blue is the only question here. And I'll be honest, the whole Houston matchup thing doesn't really do anything for me. Kind of boring. Very boring, I should say. And not that I'm looking for an easy way out or anything, but considering how many young guys are going to be playing in this game, if Satake does in fact leave for the Penn State job, it would be nice to see our young guys not going up against a fully loaded team with USC in the bowl game being their Super Bowl. So playing against BYU in San Antonio sounds pretty cool. If any of you are planning on going to that game, please do let me know. I'm considering going. I've never been to San Antonio. So if any of you guys have been, please do let me know if it's worth visiting down below. Next up from Robert, he says, is Lincoln Riley on track to be remembered as a legendary USC coach, or will his career fade into the same category as Helton's? Well, we're going to find out this next year. This is year 5. He knows that the pressure's on. We're going to be very aggressive this offseason, in my opinion. He knows he can't just wait around and wait for guys to develop. We need to win, and we need to win now. Hard schedule, doesn't matter. Playoffs are bust in 2026. He knows it. The administration knows it. Bowden knows it. So I don't have a direct answer for your question, but by this time next year, we'll have an answer. Next up from DJC, he says, in my opinion, our biggest need in the portal is a ready-to-go linebacker. Who is out there that you'd love to pull in the portal? So I don't have any names of guys that have entered just because it's so new. Names are still piling into the portal as we speak. But in terms of what I'm looking for, I want a Big Ten linebacker, man. 235 to 240 pounds, plays downhill, violent football. Nothing against our linebackers this year. But if there's one thing we saw with them, they were hesitant, they were often confused, and they did not play with their hair on fire. Which normally that's Eric Gentry's forte, so I don't really know what happened with him this year. He doesn't look healthy to me at all. But yeah, I want a hyper-aggressive, traditional, tough Big Ten linebacker. Think of a Paul Posluszny, James Laurinaitis, Jack Campbell, Ray Maluga, a Mike linebacker that can control the game, be hyper-physical and violent, and be an attacking force in the run game. That's what I'm looking for. Doesn't have to be the most heralded guy. I thought D'Anton Lynn did a good job getting a lot out of a guy like Mason Cobb. So we'll see what we can do in the portal with that. Next up from Chuck and Charlie, he says, with Satake potentially taking the Penn State job and Will Stein leaving for Kentucky, it feels like USC could be right back in play for Ryder Lyons. Thoughts? From some of the people I talked to, and I was going to put a video out about this, I think a month ago. I forget the reason why I didn't put it out, but word around USC is that we had our foot back in the door with Ryder Lyons, like even before the Satake leaving stuff. So not only am I going to say we could be right back in play for Ryder Lyons, I'm going to say we are back in play for Ryder Lyons. A kid that talented with family ties to the program, it makes too much sense. It's Lincoln Riley, it's USC. Ryder Lyons is destined to be a star. He's got the play style, he's got the cool name. Like, man, that kid would be a rock star in Los Angeles. So yeah, I'm not predicting that we get him or anything like that, but there's a definite chance, 100%. Next up from Joe, he says, I know there's been some mention of this already, but is there a realistic possibility of Kennedy Urlacher making the move to linebacker? He's a much better tackler than he is in coverage, and if he were to gain a few pounds, I think he could be a stud down by the line of scrimmage. Joe, I agree with you 100%. Kennedy Urlacher, and it's not only because his name is Urlacher, but man, he was born to play the linebacker position. But yeah, Kennedy is a natural-born linebacker in my opinion. The way he reads the game, how physical he is, and like you mentioned, his ability as a tackler. And my God, he doesn't even need to put on that much weight. Maybe, 8 to 10 pounds, and he'd be good? Because when you bring him down towards the line of scrimmage, the speed problem is all of a sudden negated. I'd say he actually has plus speed for a linebacker. So Joe, I'm completely in lockstep with you. It's a move that Sua Cravens was calling for before the year even started. I would love to see it, and I know a ton of USC fans would as well. Next up from Trevor, he says, Gabe, who is your top wide receiver transfer portal prospect? So from the guys who are actually in, it's going to be Nick Marsh from Michigan State. 6'3", 215, yak machine, great hands, an all-and-out stud receiver who's had terrible quarterback play his entire collegiate career. And if he came to USC, my God, this kid would be a monster. If I could have my pick, or just guys that are rumored to maybe be entering, I'd say Ryan Williams from Alabama, because I think he's just one of the most talented players I've ever seen in college football. So yeah, realistic Nick Marsh, slightly less realistic Ryan Williams. Next up from Bicycle Restoration Man, he says, if Maiava decides to leave, I hope in parentheses, do you believe that Longstreet is ready to take the reins? And if so, would seeing him taking significant reps in the bowl game indicate that scenario? First off, why do you hope that Jayden Maiava leaves? He's definitely a top 10 quarterback in college football. He operates this system very well. Imagine him with another year under his belt heading into 2026, having that veteran leadership in the quarterback spot. Personally, I really hope he stays. I also hope that Longstreet stays because you guys know how big a fan I am of his. But yeah, to answer your question, if Longstreet's playing significant reps in the bowl game, I mean, it's either a last-ditch effort to get him to stay, or that means that Maiava's for sure leaving. But I assume Jayden will be announced before the bowl game actually happens. And man, we got a ton of questions about Jayden Maiava this week. From Trojan Surgeon, QB question, Gabe, you think Maiava will stay? If he does Longstreet hit the portal? From Mex, he says, do you think Jayden staying or Hassan starting is best for the program long term? Angels fan says, do you think Jayden stays at USC or enters the draft? I'm seeing him go pre-draft in the 120 range. If he leaves, who do you think they go after in the portal? Another Sam Heward type or someone with experience that can lead this team to a possible playoff run? So the scenario, as I understand it, and I mean, it's pretty simple, nothing revolutionary here. If Jayden stays, Hassan goes, and Jonas Williams is going to be your backup. If Jayden leaves, Hassan and Jonas are going to battle it out. And if Jonas wins the job over Hassan, then Hassan's probably going to portal out. As I'm recording this, number one quarterback in the country, Jared Curtis, has flipped from Georgia to Vandy. That's absolutely crazy. Vandy reminds me of USC in a lot of ways, so interesting to see what they're doing over there in Nashville. But yeah, the whole will he go, won't he go thing with Jayden, I have no idea. He's going to have to get those draft evals back. I'd say if he's anywhere in the first 3 rounds, he has to go. So much stuff can happen. Especially if you're a guy like Jayden Maiava and you can get Jordan Loved in the NFL, go to a place with a good quarterback, sit for 2 or 3 years, man, he could be a special player. Don't know where he's at on the mental side of things at the NFL level. Sometimes he won't see a linebacker that drifts back into coverage. He'll lock onto his wideout before the snap and throw a pick. So he has some things to clean up, but the accuracy, the touch, the arm strength, the mobility, man, he seems like an NFL scout's dream. If I had to put money on it right now, I'd expect Jayden to leave, only because I do expect those evals to come back with a better grade than people expect when they actually sit down and watch the tape, watch the throws he's able to make. And I do expect Hassan Longstreet to be your starter in 2026. But I do hope that Jayden comes back. I feel like that gives us the best chance to win next year. Next up, from the Glowing Samoan, he asks, are you out on Coach Henny? I'm not out on Coach Henny, especially from a recruiting standpoint. From a developmental and coaching standpoint, I think it was overblown what he was going to be able to do at USC, but he can bring in the talent, and I'd rather have a stud recruiter than a technically good defensive line coach if I had to pick between the two. So I'm not out on Coach Henny, but if we don't see any progression next year and our leading sack getters at 3.5 again, which is just way too low, then yeah, I might start to lean that way. But as long as he's bringing in talent the way he is, that's fine with me. Next up from Cole, he asks, would you ever do a live watch party during games? I love following your Twitter feed during the game, but think it would be hilarious and entertaining to listen to the highs and lows of the game in real time. Plus, it would be very insightful as well. Well, if you do follow my live tweeting during games, you know I can be a little emotional, a little up and down. I don't know how long it would be before I got canceled doing one of those. I've watched Alicia do them over at Raina Troy, and she's just fantastic. If you guys haven't checked them out, please do. Alicia has been the best in the business for a long time, and that still reigns true today. But yeah, I just don't know how that would translate, I guess. I'm sure it would be very fun and very entertaining, especially if you're a fan of the opposing fan base. But next year I might try it, especially for one of the easy non-con games. Like whoever the third non-con game is going to be, because that isn't scheduled yet. We have Fresno State and Notre Dame on the schedule. So I might try it for that easy game where there's no real danger. See how it goes, see if it translates, and then we'll go from there. Next up from Ian, he asks, what do you make of Carson Palmer's coaching masterpiece this year at Santa Margarita? Year 1 there, and he has led them to a CIF title, and it was done in a dominant fashion. Could argue that Santa Margarita has the best defense in the whole country, Could you see Carson coming up to the college ranks at some point? 100%. What an incredible job Carson did this year. Now, you guys know that I went to Vista Marietta in the Inland Empire, but I have always followed Santa Margarita football. Just love the uniforms. So to see what Carson did in year one was stunning. Simply stunning. So yeah, I absolutely could see him up at the college ranks. That was one of the toughest and grittiest teams in the entire nation. Love to see that from Carson. Before anyone asks, no, I don't think he's ready to step in and be USC's head coach, but with some more seasoning, some bigger jobs, that would be a dream come true for me. Seeing Carson be USC's head coach. My first ever football memory is watching the Iowa Orange Bowl with my dad. So that would be just a dream come true for me. And I know so many of you are USC fans as well. But yeah, so happy for Carson, happy for Santa Margarita. That defense is insane. Next up from Sam Elliott, big fan of your work, Sam. He says, will Trojan Blade cover just football or will you cover other sports too? Men's basketball team had a great win in Maui last week. I would love to cover the other sports. I'm way too jam-packed right now. I've been thinking about getting someone to cover basketball on the channel, like to join the Trojan Blade and to do it on here. So let me know what you guys think about that. But honestly, more people care about the women's team than the men's at USC, at least on social media. So I might be covering them as well, especially when things start to die down, around February, March. But yeah, that is going to do it for viewer comments number 40. Great episode today. So many good submissions. If your comment or question did not get picked, do not get discouraged. Keep on leaving them every single week, and you will get picked eventually. I can assure you that. But of course, if you guys did happen to enjoy the video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate you guys being here. You're all awesome. And as always, take care and fight on.